Hiya Walkwatchers and welcome back. Hope this video finds you well. This is our video for Benbaun in County Galway. Now, cards on the table, I fell in love with the 12 Bens, I fell in love with Benbaun. What do you see this mountain? It is absolutely stunning. Now, it is a bit of a challenge, but it's absolutely beautiful. So first things first, you head down the right hand side of the Connemara River here, all the way down to just opposite that little house in the distance. That's a shepherd's hut. But just look at this beautiful, beautiful river as it flows down here. A lot of the little tributaries will have to cross as we go up Benbaun, but they're all feeding this beautiful river. Oh, now, we need to stay on the right hand side of this. Now, we were following a couple of guidebooks which kept us on the right hand side of the river, but I would be encouraging you to ford the river at this stage and walk up the track on the left hand side of the river towards the shepherd's huts and round that way, because this just ain't right. I'm not convinced that's right. Yeah. Well, we've tried this route. We know it's not all that. Yeah, so it's just more hassle than it's worth. But anyway, we forded the river at that point, and we're now on the left hand side of the river, which means that we can now ascend Benbaun. So this is one of the little tributaries now coming down off Benbaun to the Connemara, and we're going to follow this wee gorge the whole way up to the saddle and then turn right up onto the peak of Benbaun. But look at these views. We met a guy called Owen at the top of Maumturks. I say, where are you, Owen again? He said that he would see us at the top of Benbaun. We said, not if we see you first. Get a real sickener if we got at the top and he was up there. Spoiler alert, he wasn't. But maybe next time, Owen, right? I'm not sure if the video does this justice. You can't really see the gradient on this, and it is quite steep, and it can be a bit of a slog. It's a real climb. It had been dry for a few days beforehand, so it was dry and firm underfoot. No, this isn't too bad. It's just uneven underfoot. This rock is a curse. Hello, little bumblebee. But now as you reach that quartzite rock at the sort of the edges of the scree slope, it gets quite awkward to walk on. Okay. Follow the green line. Yeah. Follow the green line. Zigzag. So Ben is the anglicised version of the Irish bin, meaning peak, and because of all the quartzite rock which gives it its sort of white shiny hue across the 12 Bens, it gets the name of the white rock or the white peak. So technically this is like our Mont Blanc, our White Mountain. Now you can see here things start to change because you're now walking up through that big boulder field and the scree slopes, so you really have to pick your way through. The great thing is that there are little pathways that have been created along the way, so you'll start to see those and you'll be able to pick those out as you get up here. Right, we'll go back down. But it is really slippy and you could do yourself an injury, so you really need to be careful. Watch your ankles. The other thing to watch out for as well are people walking ahead of you. You want to keep a bit of distance between yourselves so that any loose rock doesn't fall on the person behind. So this is what you're looking for. Do you see it there? Just that thin, almost pinkish line of further crushed stone. So that's what we're walking up. They're not the easiest to identify and they're not always available, but that's what you're aiming to walk on. Makes things an awful lot easier.
Path goes down, doesn't it?
So just in case you're struggling with a sense of scale, you can see these two people coming down here, sort of the middle right of your picture. And at one stage it was so steep that they were coming down on their bum. And so there it is, County Galway's highest point, Benbaun. Look at this stunning view. Benbaun is the highest point in the 12 Bens range of mountains, so you can see a whole load of the bens here. You can see way over to Uel and the Mayo Hills, and as you keep coming round you can see the Maumturks there just above the loch.
Truly beautiful. Okay. I've made it up to the top of Benbaun and I've just died.
Just fell.
I'm trying to do a piece to camera. Hello Walkwatchers and welcome to the top of Benbaun, also known as Ireland's answer to Mont Blanc because of all of this white rock. That was a real challenge of a walk.
That was tough.
Wow.
Yeah.
It was steep.
Really steep and really rocky underfoot.
Yeah. Yes, there's a green section which is really good to walk on because it's low compacted moss and grass, and then you hit the scree slopes and then it's really complicated. I mean, it's really tough going.
Yeah. A lot of path planning and then
Yes.
reviewing and
Yes.
unplanning and going a different way.
Going a different way.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's quite busy today actually. We've seen a number of couples coming up through the mountain too, so maybe the higher the mountain the more people are climbing it. I don't know, it's also Sunday morning.
Yeah. And bank holiday weekend and all that.
Absolutely. We're sitting in the middle of the 12 Bens, right at the very heart of the 12 Bens, and the views are spectacular as you'll see. But what you can't see from that angle is we're looking at Uel, which we've already walked, and it is looking spectacular. Now when we walked it, it was covered in cloud. Typical Walkwatchers.
Thankfully a clear day today.
But thankfully a clear day today. It is spectacular. A wee bit about the 12 Bens. Nobody knows why they're called the 12 Bens really. There are 25 bens which are over 500 metres. So we don't really know why they're called the 12 Bens at all. But we're right on the edge of the Connemara National Park. And as you can see, there's some spectacular views from here, and there's some spectacular ground. So the SAC directive for this range of mountains describes it as one of the largest and most varied sites of conservation of interest in the whole of Ireland, and we can see why.
Absolutely.
You've got this really rocky terrain, then you've got this really short mossy terrain, then you've got the alluvial plains down below, you've got the lochs and the lakes, you've got heath, alpine heath, you've got montane up, high montane. It's really varied, stunning place to come and visit. However, it is a really challenging walk, and we were just saying there, this is probably not what we'd call a walk.
No, it was a climb.
A proper climb,
Yeah.
So proper gear is necessary. Good hiking boots, good thick socks, your t-shirts and your shirts that wick away the sweat and stuff, and make sure you've got all your gear, your first aid kits and stuff with you as well, because you're going to need it on this one.
And what we should have brought, but didn't bring, walking poles.
Yeah, they seem to be really, really beneficial coming up on a walk like this. Although I'm not so sure how beneficial they would have been on the scree.
Not on the scree, but on the
lower slopes.
On the greener section.
For sure.
And certainly as we think about heading back down, walking poles would be quite nice.
Yeah.
Because this could be interesting.
Yeah. Okay, well look, here come the stats. You'll see just how steep this was in the relive section. But listen, if you've enjoyed the video, give us a like and certainly subscribe to our Walkwatchers channel. Hope you've enjoyed the video.
So as I said, Benbaun sits in the 12 Bens range of mountains. It sits at 729 metres and it is the 10th out of 26 county high points. It took us about 2 hours and 10 minutes to climb up and about 4 hours and 45 minutes in total walking time. 19,500 steps, a distance of 9.9 kilometres at an average pace of 16.4 minutes per kilometre. It was warm and it was dry. Uel Preston was my walk watcher and we parked the van at Area's self-imbued in what 3 words? So back then along the way we came, and this time we're not going to go along the edge of the forest there, but we're going to turn right and go up around the shepherd's huts. You can see some of the old tumbled down houses here. This looks like an old farmstead, but once you've negotiated that, down at the end of the lane you'll cross over the river again and it's back onto that road all the way back down to where we parked the vehicle. Right, let's have a look at the route then. Up to the river. Now we came up to the forest edge. We wouldn't recommend you do that. We would recommend you go through the wee farmstead before coming up onto the mountain, up onto the scree slopes, right up to the top. Then we came back down following the wee tributary river, round the farmstead, back onto the trail and back down to the van. Looks like a straightforward route, and it is, but it takes a lot of effort. So that's it, the Walkwatchers Walk of Benbaun, County Galway's highest point. Thanks for joining us and clicking on the video. If you've liked what you've watched, why not give us a wee like and even subscribe. Now, why not get your boots on, go outside, go exploring, and I'll see you again next time.